And welcome to Affinity Publisher 2 on the iPad. What I'm going to do is show you some of the interface in this short clip. So let's have a look down the interface on the left hand side. Now you should see a blue circle when I touch the screen. Go right to the top. Now close all documents, check for updates, import content and about. That's by touching the top left, the icon there for Affinity. Now, live docs, you can see the blue circle appeared there. The live docs are what you can see on the screen. These are documents that are live now. Let's open one. There it is, it's open. We go back to that screen and there's the live doc. Now that's all that does. It shows you what's on the live doc panel. Documents that you already have open. Pretty easy, huh? Let's open another one. My travel journal. There we go, open and back to the main screen. Now, just suppose we want to open a new document, start a new document. So you just tap on new. Now there's a whole range of options, print ready, so on, web type documents, documents for devices, architectural. Now, in the right hand panel, you've got margins and bleed. So you can set the margins in your document and set the bleed. If it's going to be published, you'll need bleed. Now, the general options are there. Have we got one selected? Let's just type one over here, go find a press ready one, A4 size. Now there's A4, 210 millimeters by 297 and 300 dpi. It's in millimeters. Now, it says here prefer linked. I prefer embedded. That way when you move your documents, everything that's in the document goes with it. It does, however, I warn you, take up a lot of room. If you've got a lot of images, it will take up a lot of room. But in the end, it's easier. It's a choice. It's up to you. Now, the facing pages, horizontal, right. If you're at all familiar with Publisher on the desktop, these things will be immediately obvious to you. Now, what I'm not doing here is explaining what's on the bottom toolbar. So let's have a look at the very first one just there. Just tap on that one. That's like the edit. You can delete options. You might never want some of the stuff that's on there. So you can delete it, get it out of the way. And you can do that with that. Just tap it again, and it's back to there. Or you could have just exited that by pressing cancel. So let's call it up again. Now the one next to it, which is that one there, the little triangle, looks like one of those road emergency triangles. You can create a new preset. Supposing you want a new preset, something you've designed yourself, not B4 as it's there, but of course that's the one selected, but you're going to create your own. No, we don't want to create a preset, but that's what that symbol there does. Now, this one here is rather different. It's a strange looking symbol, isn't it? Let's have a look and see what it is. It's a new category. So not only have you got business ready, press ready, business cards, you could type in something there and make a complete new category. Storybooks, children's colour books, fantasy, fiction, whatever you like. And you can keep all your presets in that category. Easy. Now that's that one there, remember? Now the one next to it down here, bottom left hand side, it looks like a bit like one of those old floppy disks, but you can again give a preset name for a document. Might be one of those there, but you want a preset name there. Let's just cancel that one. Now what the difference is between that one and that one, I'm not too sure, but there we go. You've got two choices. So we don't want to do any of those, but that's what those symbols there, and there are for. Let's just cancel that, go back to our live docs screen. Now, there's a little trick here. If you've got lots of photographs and things like that, if you long press on New, that is, hold your pencil or finger on that button, up comes a little drop-down menu. New from clipboard. So if you've copied something to the clipboard, there's your chance. Copy it to the clipboard, long press on New and New from clipboard. You might have a template. Create a new document from a template. You might have a document you want to import. So import a new document. And there's the key one, import from photos. By simply clicking on that one there, import from photos, and there's all your photos. Lots of images. Loading from photos, and there it is, a new document loaded from photos. Excuse me. So that was long press on New, and you can, last one, create a new project. Well, we won't do any of those, so just tap anywhere on the screen and it will go away. And you can tell that is got other things there by that little, there's a little facing triangular arrow in the bottom right hand corner there. Now let's have a look at open, the next one on the list. Open, and you can open anything you like. There's one there, 6x9 adaptation of the US spread AF pub. No, we'll just leave that there. Cancel. I don't want to open a new document, but that's what that one does. Fairly self-explanatory. Samples. Now, these are samples provided by Affinity or Serif. And you'll notice that most of these, now there's a Spotlight magazine profile. You can open that one. Downloading, there we go. Open the sample. But can we save a copy? We can save a copy. Let's cancel that. I'm sounding surprised at that because a lot of the samples previously you were not able to save. Okay, that's good. So it looks like we can save those ones, or some of them. I haven't tried all of them, but there you go. And that's all they do. They're a good place to start if you're thinking, oh, where's a good design without wandering around all over the internet looking for nice designs. There's some really nice designs there. CV, a brochure, No Place Like Home, a magazine profile, a poster, the Bijou poster, Hermit Cabin brochure, Hickman and Company, and that looks like a threefold brochure. Let's have a look at it. Downloading sample. Hopefully it won't be too big. It won't take too long to download. Looks like it's going to. Okay, downloading the sample. Oh, here it comes. An unknown error occurred. Okay, so it's not available. Not to worry. There's another threefold brochure up the top. Alice's Adventure. That looks like, I think that's a little book. And architecture. Okay, now the next one is our help screen. Let's have a look at this. Now, what can we look for? TOC. You know what TOC is? Table of Contents. Now, there's the Table of Contents panel. Tells you all about how to make a table of contents. And this little sucker is reasonably difficult to find, but it's very useful. Of course, everybody wants a table of contents. Now, we don't want to use the help screen anymore. Let me also give you an aside. The help screen is your friend. What do I mean by that? Just about everything you want to know is already in the help screen. Draw lines and shapes with a pen. Look at that. Too easy. Let's take off capitals. Draw lines and shapes. There we go. You're probably familiar with that from version 1. Close that down. And up in the top right hand corner there's an X. Just tap the X and it goes away. Now, the account, of course, that's my account. Let's close that. Preferences. There's all your preferences. Now, there's a couple in here that I really always turn on. Automatically update help. That's that first one. Automatically lock background layer on import. That prevents you from accidentally making a disaster out of something you've imported. Link new content categories. Not immediately obvious what that does, but you'll find out. Import PSD text as text. You don't want PSD documents coming in as pixel layers. You want the text that's in some PSD files as text. Colours, dither gradients, show touches. Now that's a very good one. See that blue circle we've got here? That's what that does. Turn that on and you can see where you've touched. Cache the screen updates. It uses more memory, so if your iPad's got lots of memory, then switch that on. And you can also present this on external displays. Now, undo limit. Don't increase that too much. Takes up lots of memory. And the auto saves the interval every 300 seconds. That's 5 minutes for the uninitiated. 300 seconds divided by 60. 6 5s are 30, 300. Language is default. In other words, if your iPad is running in Spanish, the language that it uses will be in Spanish. My default save location, which you can change, is the iCloud drive. And there's assistant options there. You can see what they do. Enable assistance, notify on actions, auto, undo, redo, done. Now there's the user interface, colours. The user interface, lines in point, show, undo and redo buttons. Now, I'll show you what that is in a minute, because when you're on the working screen down here, there'll be an arrow facing that way and an arrow facing that way. They're your undo and redo buttons. Very useful. I always have those turned on. Now, if you're left-handed, well, you turn that one on. Automatically hide the user interface. Turn that one on. Panning inertia. So it's a little slow, microscopically slow, I might add, to pan. Monochrome iconography. The background grey level refers to that grey you can see there. And the higher that level, the greyer, if that's a word, it is. Colour. Don't need to worry about that unless you're being very particular about what you're doing. Tools, some of those are relevant or not relevant. If you're a specialist, you probably fiddle with those. Pencil, enable double tap, enable scribble with text tools. Now you may or may not want that on. If you find that your Apple Pencil is suddenly drawing things on the screen, turn that off. Fonts. Now I've got lots of fonts in there. If you've got fonts on your iPad, if they're sitting there in iCloud, then you can add them by just tapping that. Let's go find a font. iCloud Drive. We can search for F-O-N-T. Hill House font. There we go. Hill House Medium. Select that one, and open. And it's loading those in. A, B, and your alphabetical, E, F, G. No, they're not alphabetical. There's Millhouse Medium. That must have been the only one. Never mind, that's how you load fonts. All very usable. That doesn't look particularly useful, that one. I don't know what's going on there. Never mind. We won't sidetrack. Shortcuts, very useful. Apply to all personas if available. At this moment, it's in Publisher. T, I, F, G, V. These are, if you've got a keyboard, these can be really handy. An external keyboard or Bluetooth keyboard. I mean, I've got an iPad Mini 6 here with a keyboard. The keyboard's bigger than the iPad, and it's pretty useless. I like to use an iPad because of the size benefit. Autocorrect. Now you can turn on all that. Use Apple typing aids. Capitalise first letter of sentences. Autocorrect. Just watch the spelling. We all know about our iPhones and some of the things it can spell. Abbreviations. A.D. All sorts of things there. Don't know what they do, but you'll find out. Title exceptions. If A begins something, don't make it a capital. And link services, well, I'm linked to Dropbox here because I've got a Dropbox account. Now, I haven't yet worked out, to be honest with you, what the advantage of that is, because I can load or save documents to and from Dropbox as much as I like. Now, with the account linked, maybe I don't have to log in each time. That's possibly what it is. And reset does exactly that. You can reset individual things there. If you're working away on iPad and you discover that suddenly things stop working, you can't copy, you can't do this and you can't do that, you can reset all those things and probably lose something that you've spent hours fixing. Or I've found the best thing to do is to shut down the Affinity program that you're working on. Doesn't matter where you are, save the document if you like at that point, close everything down and reset the iPad. That's a hard reset. The two buttons at the top, hold them down, turn the iPad off, count to 5, turn it back on, load it back up, memory's cleared and everything works. Now, that's your preferences screen done. Let's go back to Live Docs. You see what we had there was the sample screen. There's our Live Docs screen. Oh, and I must add that on the Live Docs you can see this top one here. And it's going to load anyway. To get rid of it, just tap the X. X, close without saving. Yes, close without saving because it's a sample. We can always get it back. Now, untitled, we're on the Live Docs screen. If you put your key there, oh, it's too slow, and scroll left, you can save it. Scroll left, you can duplicate it, scroll left, and you can rename it. Let's call it Secret. Okay, now there's its name there, Secret. That's just what it is. Shush, let me tell you a secret. Oh, very sensitive. Now, that's really quick. You can do a screen capture and capture that, or because we're on video, stop the video and see what it said when it was saving it. Be careful. Affinity on the iPad is still adjusting the save model. Because of the way Apple designed iPad, it doesn't always save the way you think it's going to save. So you might save that document as secret and then not be able to find it. Let's have a look in Files. We'll go to iCloud Drive, we'll go to Affinity Publisher, and you can see there that it didn't save it as secret. It saved it as untitled_1, which is not what we want. Let's see if we can find secret. That was saved on the 28th of the 10th at 6:55 p.m. So that's a different document and it's in Affinity Designer. So as I say, be very careful how you're saving that. Let's close that, open that again. Now, how do we save it as secret? Save a copy. Save, iCloud Drive, Affinity Publisher. You can see as Untitled1 AFPub. That's actually what you want. You could rename that and just open it if you wanted to do it that way. Let's see if that saves it. Close that for a moment. Go back to there, and there we go, Secret AFPub. I saved it as. Now, if you want to continue working on Secret AFPub, this is a real trick, because if I make any additions to this or modify it in any way, and you can see that that layer is locked because that's what's set in the preferences, so I can, by long pressing on that and swiping to the left slightly, add the selection, delete or unlock blend modes. I can't do anything with it until I unlock it, but that's all right, I don't want it there. But if I was to save that, it would save it to untitled_1. So what I've got to do is close that and open secret. Let's add a layer to that by, what can we put in there? A rectangle, just over the face. There we go. Now, move that out there. Come on. Oh no, I forgot, I'm in Publisher. It behaves differently. Okay, so that's a considerable difference. Save that. Go back there. Now let's go to Open. See, it's untitled_pub. I've been working on and saving that one still. Even though in that interface it's called secret, it's still untitled1. So let's open, and you can see there the little icon just there. It's got those changes in it. Dragging it to the side allows you to delete it. So let's open secret.pub. There's secret.pub. Unlock it, close it, and you can see the little stars are gone from around the edge. Let's add a rectangle to that one. Nice bright red rectangle so we can see it. Go to there. Now, save. It should be saving secret, not untitled1. Let's go back there. Load that up, and there's secret AFPub with the red triangle. So what's the secret there? You don't just rename it there, because that's a waste of time. What you do is open it, save a copy, then close it, then open the saved copy by using that. Open the saved copy. Now, the really interesting thing is we can rename Untitled1 by naming it SECRET1, secret 1, done. There's secret 1. Now, just tap on that, loading, there's secret 1. That's our secret 1 back. So I would suggest, finally, to end this little video, that if you are struggling with the naming convention, and this applies to photo and designer as well, just take your time with a couple of just blank copies or a couple of images from the sample studio, and play around with saving and see what you end up with. So there's exit, close without saving, exit, close without saving, exit, close without saving, and then I'm back to my original screen. Now that's all there is to using the interface and saving your documents. Remember, if you rename a document right there, and save it, particularly if it's a new document, it'll be untitled_1, and so on. So be careful of your renaming and practice it. Okay. So, thanks for watching. Really appreciate you taking the time, and if you really enjoy my videos, and there's hundreds of them there on my YouTube channel, referring to version 1 mostly, and now I'm starting version 2, but version 1 and version 2 are virtually identical, except that version 2, of course, has lots of new things and lots of things in new places. And in version 1, there is no publisher. You only have photo and designer, and we'll come to those in due course. So if you're not too sure, oh, by the way, Affinity version 2 loads Affinity version 1 files quite happily. You can work away on them, and don't forget the saving problem. Save them as something else and put a V2 at the end of the name so you're not confused, because version 1, if you still have it, does not open version 2 files for obvious reasons. I don't think there's an app in the world that's been created where you can go forward from an older version like that. So, again, thanks for watching. Share with your friends.